Morning, YouTubers. So I think I finally got my little gear made for the reverse mechanism. I did this one in the drill press. I've got another blank here. I've got another blank here. Originally, this is how I was going to do it. I made a stub shaft, a mandrel, to go in the 3/4 inch 5C collet, and then that was going into the phase 2 the phase 2 indexer on the drill press table. But I made it with a 5/16 hole in here, and I realized that I made it with a 5/16 hole in it, and I was just going to put a little piece of aluminum on there and squeeze that down and cut it that way. And then I realized that the cutter was going to hit either aluminum or steel, and on that, it's not a really good setup. I didn't want to hit any aluminum or steel or anything, so I abandoned that. And what I did, I just took a piece of the phenolic, the plastic, and I trimmed it up to fit in the 1 1/8 inch collet, and I didn't bore it all the way through, so it's a solid piece back here, and I can just cut this off now. All I gotta do is cut this off and then face it to where I want it. Okay. Alright, so the first thing I have to do is turn this to 1 1/8. I already started on it. So let's see where we're at. We are at 1 inch 256. So let's just take that back a little ways. $125. 1 inch 125. Here's the collet, so let's slip it on there and see what it looks like. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's going to do. I'm going to watch it. Alright, now this will have to go in the collet. So I'll have to reset up the machine. Okay, so I assume it's running. Okay, let's turn it on. And let's go ahead and drill this out for center drill. One half of an inch and 5/8 deep. Alright, so that should be drilled 1/2 of an inch by 5/8 deep. If not, I can always clean it up with my tool. Okay, so now I've drilled it. I want to go to 5/8 deep. It looks like it's a perfect 5/8 deep, so let's go down and hit the bottom. Set some kind of stop. Okay. 5/8. I need to bore it to 5/8. I happen to have this now, so I can use this to check it. I think that's perfect. Alright, now we can do our counterbore. Counterbore has to go down 1/8 of an inch out to 7/8. Alright then, so now we got that. Okay. Alright, so this thing should be 5/8 of an inch thick now. $6.29, so that's good. This goes down to 1 inch and 1/4. Alright, we're 450. Let's call it 450. We need 200 thousandths off of it, off of that diameter. So that's going to be right back around to 40. Screw it up, screw it up. That's all. Take some 40. Okay. Okay. Let's check everything out now. We should be at 1 inch 250 here. And this is actually a little big. We're 1 inch 255. Okay. This one here is actually only 2 inches, or 1 inch 236. So problem is having a total weight out with it because of it being this weight nylon. Yeah, that looks fair right there. You can see it. Yeah. 18T, so it's 20 degrees per. I just went 20 on the indexer every time. So now I got to do is part that off and replace this. There's a broken tooth on that one. The reason I decided to go ahead and make it out of this phenolic, I was looking around for them on eBay, and there was a guy that was selling them made out of ABS. So I thought, well, I'll give this phenolic a shot. It's just a acetyl rod. I'm not sure what it is, but it's really tough. It's really tough stuff. It's got a lot of burrs on it right now. I got to deburr it and all. But I was just kind of glad to get that job out of the way, because now I want to move on. Yeah, there you go. Because I just want to move on to the next job. Let's see if I can get my big fat hands out of the way. Yeah. Seems to mesh properly. And the amount of the distance that's from here to here seems about the same on both, and the same way on the inside. So we'll put it in there and we'll try it. Okay, so this job presented a few more problems than I had expected. I'm going to cut this one here in the lathe and the mill setup. What I'd like to do is cut one for somebody to watch who might not have a gear cutting or an indexer head. I'll just lay out 18 holes and have a pin and index it with a pin. Because I had to make a new cutter, a new gear cutter holder. This one was for the drill press. I was a little leery of it at first because it only goes into a 3/8. The only thing I got on that setup there is the 3/8 hole, and I was a little leery that might not hold up, but it did pretty good. I figured it would with just cutting plastic, but I might try making one out of aluminum, and if I do, I'm going to have to do it in the lathe, and I'll have to use my regular cutter that I use for that. But the little gear, I made a gear cutter according to the Atlas book, and it looks to me like I'm not going to be able to get the 45-degree angle out of it. So what I'll do is I'll just make up this fixture to hold this at the 45. It'll actually have to be like this from above, and then I can take it back and feed it back and forth across this cutter here. This cutter will be sitting like that, and then I'll have it tilted this way, either this way or this way. Probably better tilted this way. Then take it, index it, take it back and forth across there. But I got other jobs I got to do. I need to get that tire changed, so I'm going to go back to work on that. I have to curve a piece of this same plastic. Now this is an old cutting board. It's not the same as this here. So I had to heat this up and curve it because I want to make my own duck's head tire remover thing. So I formed a piece of metal, and then I put it on the fire when I made a fire Saturday. I had it on top of there heating, and a C-clamp pulling it in. So if that's formed to the shape, I want to get back to work on that. I got to put a couple of screws, probably 4 screws in it, and then set everything back up and see if I can get that duck's head ground to where I can put the tire back on. I put one tire on with screwdrivers and a spoon, homemade tire spoon, and I wasn't happy with it. It's the first time I've ever put a new tire on. Usually I take a tire off, fix it, and put it back on, but the new tire was a little stiffer, so I'd like to eliminate that, forcing that on with the spoons in it, because it tore the paint all up and everything. So the idea is to make a piece of this that'll ride with a groove cut in it, and ride right around that rim, caught in that rim so it can't go anywhere, and then just guide that tire right down on there. This is part of it here. I've got a lot of video of me making this, but I haven't put it enough together yet. This will sit down over the peg in the tire changer, and then the thing I was talking about will sit here, and then I'll probably either have a spring pulling it to hold the piece of phenolic plastic into the groove, or I might make another project on the lathe, a little small turnbuckle, left hand and right hand threads, to get that where I want it, and that would hold it more positive than just a spring. But anyway, that's what I want to get back to work on. I get this thing here going. I had to bend these, wrap these around there, and I got all that. I got the footage on all that, but I'm not gonna put that up yet. I'm just going to put up the video about this thing here. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.